Hello everyone, it's spoiler time here in Arena Underground. This week we are showing you the new cards from Ikoria Lair of Behemoths. As always, if you enjoy our content, please make sure to click that like and subscribe button below. It's a way to support the channel for free. And now, let's look at some more spoilers. Alright, what do we have on the screen? Polywog Symbiote. 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 blue creature frog is a 1/3. And it says each creature spell you cast costs 1 less to cast if it has mutate. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if it has mutate, draw a card. Then discard a card. This is a pretty cool sort of mutate lord type creature, right? So each of your mutate spells cost 1 less. That's already awesome. You can play this in any sort of deck list that has blue, obviously Jeskai, Simic, etc. And then whenever you cast a creature spell, if it has mutate, draw a card and discard a card, so you can also cycle through your cards. So yeah, you will need to play some sort of mutation strategy if you want to take advantage of the effects of Polywog Symbiote. But other than that, I think it's a pretty cool card that will definitely see some play. Not sure if it's going to be, again, a standard staple. Maybe if mutation is like, you know, if you have a deck that it's mutation tribal, then it's going to see a lot of play. Otherwise, you'll see it eventually in, you know, a couple of decks throughout the format. Okay, moving on. All right, here we have Frontland Felidar. 4 mana, 3/5. 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 white. So in the Celestia colors. Creature Cat Beast. Has vigilance and says creatures you control with vigilance have pay 1, tap target creature. Okay, this is a cool card as well. I don't like the stats too much. Like, it's a 4 mana 3/5. It's sort of okay with vigilance, but in the current meta, there's a lot of good 4 mana spells that are gonna take that slot, even in Celestia colors. But this could see play in some sort of aggro small creature, maybe token strategy, maybe Celestia soldiers, Celestia humans, things like that, where you give everything or all your tokens vigilance, and then for just tapping one of these tokens and paying 1, you get to tap 1 or multiple creatures from your opponent. Also, you get to attack and tap at that point before the opponent gets a chance to defend themselves, to declare blockers. So that's pretty cool. Well, especially obviously if your other creatures have vigilance. So that would be the best idea, I think, for this card. Okay. All right, now we're looking at Stormwild Capridos. 3 mana, 1/3 with flying. 2 colorless, 1 white. Creature, bird, goat. Interesting. And this says, if non-combat damage would be dealt to Stormwild Capridos, prevent that damage, then put a 1/1 counter on Stormwild Capridos for each 1 damage prevented this way. This card I like a lot. I love playing aggro decks, and just having something that will survive burn spells, things like Deafening Clarion, which do damage to the cards. It's pretty cool. And then you get the extra effect of putting a 1/1 counter for each 1 damage that was prevented. That is awesome. I'm not completely sure, to be honest, if it's going to count. Let's say Deafening Clarion or Scorchfire, you know, deal 3 damage to this creature. You prevent that damage. So that's 3 damage in total. So I'm not sure if it's 3 counters you put in it, or if it's maybe just 1 counter from the damage from the 1 spell. So we'll have to wait and see, but I still think this is a pretty cool card that survives a lot of the removal that's currently being played in standard, and I like it. It has flying, so it could be, you know, one of those creatures. Maybe you bring it in from the sideboard if your opponent has a lot of removal, and if you don't, it's still a pretty cool card. All right. Okay, so now on the screen we have Callossification. 7 mana enchantment, 5 colorless, 2 green, enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When Callossification enters the battlefield, tapped enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +20/+20. This card is interesting. I don't think in the time that I've been playing Magic, which is not that long, I've seen an enchantment or a pump spell that would give +20/+20, so this is pretty cool. That said, it's 7 mana cost, so I think most likely we're gonna see this in some sort of ramp list where you can play this on turn 5, make one of the creatures a 20/20, and then do some janky things like maybe mutating the creature, giving it haste, untapping it some way on your next turn as well to get the damage in with a flying keyword counter or a trample keyword counter. So that could be options. You could also maybe try to ramp and at the same time that you play this card, have a fling in your hand, sacrifice your creature and make 20 damage to your opponent at that same moment. So there's a couple of cool things that could be done with this card. I think we're mostly going to see this in ramp strategies, maybe some janky ramp strategies. But yeah, I like it. It's nice. All right, moving forward, we have Old School Cathartic Reunion. Sorcery, 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 red. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard 2 cards. Then draw 3 cards. This is a pretty cool card, allowing you to cycle the cards that are not really good in your hand. Discard 2, maybe 2 lands, get some other, get 3 cards, 3 new cards that could be potentially what you need, or at least helpful enough. And then, yeah, this could be, you could see this maybe some sort of discard strategy, maybe in the Arc-like Phoenixes. Is it strategies where you want to discard your Arc-like Phoenixes? It's also 2 mana, so maybe you get to draw like an opt and something else to cast it on the same turn and then get your Arc-like Phoenixes back into the battlefield. So yeah, I like this. I like this card. All right, let's have some coffee, right? Cool, let's continue. All right, so what do we have here now? Boon of the Wish Giver. 6 mana sorcery, 4 colorless, 2 blue. Draw 4 cards. Cycle for 1. All right, I like this card. I can see this being played in probably some sort of control strategy. Maybe Esper, maybe Azorius control. Anything that's playing blue, right? The mirror. This could be some sort of finisher where, you know, as control deck, you do want to keep drawing cards to find those answers for everything your opponent is doing. But if you get this at the beginning of the game where you are still slowly, you know, making land drops, you can cycle this for just 1, get a new card. That's possibly what you need at that moment. If you do draw this later in the game, mid-game, or late game, then it can be really cool. It is a sorcery, so that's, you know, that's the part that doesn't make it a great card. It would be better if it was an instant spell for 6. But that said, yeah, this card could be good. I think we could see play, although we still have a lot of cool spells that would draw us cards at the moment. So maybe this is something that we're going to see being played later on once the format changed and the other sets get recycled. All right. So here we have Go for Blood. 2 mana sorcery, 1 colorless, 1 red. It says target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Cycling for 1. Alright, so this is a cool card. It's interesting. I don't think I've seen anything in the red colors for fight target creature you don't control. Usually this is a green spell. But I guess, you know, something new, or maybe this is an old card that I hadn't seen before. That said, it has cycling for 1, so that's pretty cool. You know, it's a removal spell that if you don't need it for that game, for that match, for that instance, you can again cycle for just 1. So I think this could be a good card. We do have a lot of better removal at the moment. Dumry's Ambush and Scorching Dragonfire and things like that maybe are taking the spot for this card at the moment. But that said, yeah, I like this card. Okay, now we're looking at Sanctuary Lockdown. 3 mana enchantment, 2 colorless, 1 white. Says humans you control get +1/+1, and then you can pay 2 to tap 2 untapped humans you control, and tap target creature an opponent controls. So this is a cool enchantment for the human tribal. Gives all your humans +1/+1, and then you can have maybe multiple tokens, human tokens in the battlefield, where you can tap 2 of those to tap target creature an opponent controls. So yes, I think we're gonna see play. We're gonna see this card being played in human tribal, or some sort of decks that has enough humans to get to allow you to play this enchantment. So yeah, this is cool, and yeah, very cool. All right, now we're looking at Sea Dasher Octopus, 3 mana 2/2 in the blue colors, 1 colorless, 2 blue creature octopus with a mutate for 2. Has flash and says whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. All right. So this is another cool flash card that could be an addition in your flash deck, or could be an addition in some other maybe control type of tempo strategies, where you get to flash this in later on, make it an evasive creature, and start attacking your opponent to draw cards. It's really cool octopus. Interesting that it has flash, being like a sea creature, but I guess its tentacles reach far, right? All right, anyway. Okay, we're looking at, I think this is our last card, Voracious Great Shark. 5 mana 5/4. This is one of the cards that was spoiled last weekend. It's a creature shark, 3 colorless, 2 blue. Also has flash and says when Voracious Great Shark enters the battlefield, counter target artifact or creature spell. So this is a pretty cool card. Seems like a mid-range type of finisher for, again, some sort of flash deck, maybe a control deck, because it counters an artifact or a creature spell. So I can see this being played in those sort of strategies. It's a 5/4 again with flash. So yeah, I think this card could see a lot of play. It's not broken by any means, but yeah, it could fit in a lot of the strategies going on right now. All right. Okay, guys, I think that's all for today. We will see you again with more spoilers. We hope you guys are enjoying the current spoiler season from Ikoria. In any case, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. That was all for today. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and click the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Have a good one.